Welcome to this month's In the Queue newsletter. I'm Dunn, CEO of Aqueity. I know you're busy and I'm busy, so let's get to it. This month's newsletter covers 3 topics. 1, 6 very important things to consider before rushing to the cloud. 2, is it impossible to maintain network security in a BYOD world? And 3, Aqueity Threat Check Service. First up, 6 very important things to consider before rushing to the cloud. And while we include all 6 points in our newsletter, we only have time to cover a couple points here. As a child, I remember my father telling me, when all the masses are heading in one direction, take pause and understand all the avenues that are available to you. I can relate this to the cloud technologies. It would seem that everyone is in the cloud, and if you're not, something's wrong. So while the cloud offers many services to businesses of all size, it is absolutely critical that the proper planning put in place and the understanding of the benefits you're looking to achieve are understood. So next up is your cost. And while cloud providers will talk about CapEx versus OpEx, which are all important things to consider for your business, you do need to take into consideration both your migration cost and then your monthly cost. And of course, in the event something goes wrong, is there an impact to your business that's going to cause extended downtime? And then what would the cost be associated with that as well? So if you got caught up in the hype, migrated to the cloud, and neglected to take into consideration performance of the key applications your employees use, don't worry. They'll remind you with pitchforks. So the way to avoid this is proper testing. If you include in your plan the proper testing of application, know the performance and requirements in the cloud, you can ensure a successful experience for your end users. Up next, is it impossible to maintain network security in a BYOD world? And not to be confused with BYOB, because if you do, well, you have a whole nother set of problems. So just about everyone has a mobile device, whether it's a tablet or a mobile phone, and most of us don't want to carry multiple devices. However, you need to keep your corporate data secure. How do you do it? Well, in our newsletter article, we expand upon maybe 10 points on what to do. However, here I want to highlight 3. First up is your BYOD policy included in your HR handbook. If you don't have one, you better get one soon. So what does it do? Well, it outlines the policies and expectations that you have for your employees' handling of sensitive information. Although it's not good enough just to have the policy in your manual, you do need to make sure you review it with your staff on a recurring basis. So, do you have any mechanism of enforcement of a complex password on your employees' mobile devices and tablets? If not, what's the risk? Well, just think about it. If someone leaves a phone or a tablet laying around and it is picked up by somebody, well, quite frankly, they have access into all your corporate sensitive data. Not a good situation to be in. So what can you do about it? Probably the easiest thing to do is to ensure that your servers are configured to force a complex password before an employee is allowed to access any data, whether it be email or any kind of corporate documents from a mobile device. If it's not there or they don't have a password, they don't get access. So the next challenge you're faced with is how do you keep the data, both corporate and personal, separated on a BYOD device? Well, the good news is there's a lot of third-party software applications that help you do this. So in the event that a device is lost, stolen, or an employee leaves the organization, you have the ability to just remotely wipe that portion of secure corporate data while leaving the employee's personal data intact. So we move along to the Aqueity Threat Check Service, or ATC. It seems like every day we watch the news and there's another big security breach. So what does it mean? Well, it means that security and investment in security is absolutely critical to the success of your organization. Let's be honest, you don't want to make the front page unless it's some positive news. So what can you do about it? Well, a good first step is Aqueity Threat Check Service. The service allows us to install an unobtrusive security appliance that scans both internal and external access into your network. We're basically trying to exploit what a hacker could see from the outside to get your corporate information. After we gather data over a period of time, we then take that information and put it into a security assessment report where we outline the vulnerabilities that were found as well as the recommended remediation steps. You can find more information about Aqueity's Threat Check service within our newsletter, or reach out to your client partner to get one scheduled for your company today. Well, we're just about wrapped up. If you have any final thoughts on the topics we discussed, please share your comments in the newsletter section on our website. And if you'd like to learn more about how Aqueity can help you with the items we discussed, please reference the contact info we included in our email newsletter. Thanks for listening. As you get back to work, we'll stay on top of IT. Welcome to